Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. This is Bandit Ryu. And since last time, I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and start off our trading quest with this bullshit. I say bullshit because I'm gonna have to go to these islands, specifically Mother and Child, rather repeatedly. And it doesn't seem like a pain, but you can't actually warp to Mother and Child Isle, because you will go inside of it instead of on the outside of it, which is where I need to be. So, yeah. So now that we've talked to Zelda, there's this Goron here. And he's a merchant, which means we have to basically trade him for all of this stuff. Yeah, sure. Here, look at this. Give me your stuff. Basically, we gotta trade with each of these Gorons to get more stuff. So now we can trade our town flower for the sea flower. And it's going to cost you each time you do it. It's really a pain in the ass. Fortunately, I have the money to achieve this at the moment. Okay, so now if you go back to Windfall, he will also have the sea flower for sale, and not just the town flower. And then you can decorate the town with that, if you so wish. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to do. And, oh, actually, I'm not supposed to leave. My bad. Read the notes before you move. Anyway, so let's give him his sea flower right back, so that we can get something else from him. And now, you don't have to do it in this order. This is just my preferred order of getting stuff done. Now I want the exotic flower, yes. Sure, thank you for the deal. So now we get an exotic flower. So now it's 3 items that Zelda has at his shop. And our next one we have to go to is Bomb Island, which I believe Zelda himself referenced. And that is probably the appropriate way to do this, but it gets you different stuff, and it lowers the well, it doesn't lower. It takes the items that you want to get from him longer to get, and that's a pain in the ass. So instead of doing that, I don't remember where Bomb Island is. I think it's close to Southern Ferry, but I don't remember. So where is Bomb Island? Oh, there's Bomb Island. Okay, so it's near Forest Haven. Get back in the boat, you son of a bitch. Let's try this again. So Bomb Island is north of Forest Haven. Boy, that's going to be a quest too. I swear to you, that's the last piece of heart I'll ever get in this game. Because Forest Haven's water the tree bullshit literally takes forever. Quite literally takes forever. It's insane. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back to Bomb Island twice. This is Forest Haven. I should think before I do stuff. I need to go north, right? Yeah. There we go. I believe I've done... Yeah, I've been over here before, so I've done everything for Bomb Island at this point. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. That's Bomb Island. I forget what that island is called, but it is not Bomb Island, and therefore I do not need to go to it. Anyway, this would be a great opportunity while I'm doing all of the sailing to talk about our editor. So we at Set 5 have a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of the time we cannot, well, record one thing, but we can also not take care of all the stuff that we currently have to do, such as editing and promoting, all this other stuff. Now, I tend to take care of my own editing for the most part, but I am absolutely terrible at promoting, like, whatsoever. So now I have a Facebook, a Twitter that I will hopefully start using more often. And a few other things. Why did I not target you? I'm pretty sure I did. Keep it. Thank you. Do I have to talk to you first? Oh, no, I have not. Okay, good for you. I would love to. Can I trade you something? How about this exotic flower? Yes, I would. That's not a flower. Sure thing, buddy. Now you can't negotiate them either. But anyway, so now I've got to go back to Windfall and I can talk more about Editor Dan. My good friend Editor Dan, whose name I'm just going to be calling Editor Dan from now on. Basically, a friend of ours decided, wow, you guys really suck at editing. No joke, that's literally how that conversation went down. And he was like, well, I can help you with that. I'm pretty good at editing. So I will edit all of your video, well, not all. He's gonna help us edit all of our videos. And I have to move this way. And he's going to help me basically edit all of the Set 5 stuff that is not Zelda. And if I start running late on Zelda, I guess he'll help with that too. So if you're editing this video, thank you very much for editing this video. Work sucks, I'm sorry. Anyway, now that we have 4 things over here, get out of the boat, we can talk to Zunda again. And, well, let's see what happens, I guess. I don't want to spoil it too much, though I think I've stated this already, what you get from this. It's actually twofold. Well, threefold, actually. You get 3 things. And now look, his shop is so big. Yeah, thank you. And we get the magic armor. Now, in this game, it takes up rupees, which is actually kind of great, I guess, considering that it was supposed to take up magic in the original game. But now it takes up motherfucking... Where is it? Where is it? Oh, okay, it's red in this game. It was purple in the GameCube version for some reason. So anyway, yeah, it takes up rupees instead of magic. It's basically exactly like the magic armor in Twilight Princess. Oh, I did park over here, didn't I? Park is a weird word for a boat, but I guess that's... Anchor? I anchored over here? So anyway, I gotta go back to Bomb Island now. Let me stop spewing nonsense at you. What was I talking about? I can't remember, honestly. So let's talk more about Dan. Dan is a friend of ours from, not really high school, because he moved, and he doesn't actually live in Florida, unfortunately. He lives in, I think, California? He lives far away. Along with a good friend of mine who lives in Iowa. They basically help out Set 5 on the side without actually being a part of Set 5. Now, if he has a YouTube or a Facebook or however the fuck he promotes himself, I'll link it in our video description and on screen because I can do that now. He's actually teaching me how to edit as he edits Tales of Symphonia, which he didn't start editing from the beginning, but he sure as hell is doing it now. Because he's a great guy, and I think he likes Symphonia or the Tales of series a lot. So it actually helps me out, and it helps him out somehow. I don't know. He says it helps him out. I'm gonna assume that he's not lying to me for the sake of work. But yeah, so let's give his Sickle Moon flag back and get the Fountain Idol. Yay. It's very nice. It actually has water in the animation for I have a little blemish. You gave it to me, you freaking stingy bitch. I'm actually curious if you can get the Fountain Idol from Great Fish and give it to him, and he'll say that. I don't know. I don't remember doing it another way. I remember doing it correctly the first way because I had to look up how to get the magic armor originally. Because I was not going to go through the whole game trying to figure... Well, I say that. I probably would have because I'm a stickler for punishment and I like exploring Zelda for the most part. Let's go to Tingle. It will take a little less time to go through the islands that way. Yeah, I had to look it up. I think I had to look it up originally. And the way that they did it was largely inefficient and had you going from the 3 islands that you had to go to over and over again, which was maddening. For the most part, anyways. I think it was maddening. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Oopsies. Let's turn my ship. There we go. That looks like mother and child. So after I figured it out, I was like, huh, I wonder how much of this I can tweak to be efficient. And then I realized you could stay on great fish and trade the sea flower twice, and you can stay on Bomb Island and trade that shit twice. And there's a few instances where you can do that, and it makes things a lot easier, at least in my case, because I really don't like traveling to the islands every so often. Like, I understand that this is kind of necessary, especially considering the way the game's logic is thrown at you, but I don't like the fact that, ooh, I looked away from the computer screen. I'm glad I did. Anyway, I'm glad that it is done this way, actually, because otherwise it would kind of bug the shit out of me, not gonna lie. And shit, there's a chew here. I don't know if I've actually gotten it. Did I? If it's blue, I haven't. Nope, I have. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's another tree here too. You can imagine the despair. I forgot I have to talk to you first. No, keep it. I would lose time. Good. Yep. I would love to. Great. Okay, have this, please. What do you give me? You give me a big sail... Yeah, big sail flag. Why does it say sign in here? Whatever. 35, fuck yeah! I like this one. He's like, that squares us. We good. Now, you should actually... I don't really want to say this, but you should take time to put the big sale sign around every shop. So, the auction house, if you haven't done all of the auction house stuff, Zunda's shop for sure should have as many as possible. Is there another one? I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but yeah. So now we got to go back to the Great Fish Isle, which is nice because I can warp to it immediately. Okay, we can stay at Great Fish twice, then we got to go back to Mother and Child, and go back to Great Fish. Good, I actually don't need to do... I remember the original way had you go to like Bomb Island, then Mother and Child, then Great Fish, then Bomb Island, then Mother and Child, then Great Fish, then Bomb Island. They all end in Great Fish though, so at least that point is kept consistent because you have to end there. But the rest of it is kind of annoying. Oh, the light rings are out. These aren't usually here. But again, I don't really need the money. I might soon, actually, but we'll see. Get out of the boat. And obviously, I'm still trying to deal with the changes because I don't remember all of them. And the fact that we don't have some of the stuff remain consistent is kind of strange. It is. You give me the hero flag, yeah. 75, right? Yeah. So at least I remember this part. Okay, so we've got a few more things to do. Now I basically have to give him the hero's flag again, which I assume he will complain about. I feel like doing it this way costs more money, but it's faster. Wait, really? I've done this in a day? Okay. I can cheat. Hey buddy, how's it going? Sell my shit. It is. Postman statue. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the Postman statue that actually covers the cost of the Postman statue, kind of. I mean, it's 100, but you generally get more for it the more people you give it to, and it's an interesting way, if not a tedious way of making money. But yeah, so let's go back to Mother and Child now with Postman statue, because now we get a little specific. Each one of them wants something basically for themselves. So the guy at Great Fish really wants, well, he wants what we're about to get. And the guy at Mother and Child really, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking sail. I'm really pissed at having to do this, but whatever. We've got time, I don't really care. I'd actually like this to take an entire episode because it leaves less stuff for me. I'm going the wrong way again. Whoopsies. There we go. Now I'm on the right track. And it will be pretty much where I am going. Good. Alright, so this trading quest, like I said, gets a little specific. Each one of the three, Bomb Island, Great Fish Island, and wherever we're going, Mother and Child Islands, all have something specific. Yeah, by the way, these respawn. You can get 50 and 100 rupees respectively from them each time. Not worth getting. Not really. So, do that if you want to. But anyway, this guy wants the postman statue. He'll give you his rarest treasure for it. That happens to be the Shop Guru statue. It's golden. I think it's Zunda. Can't really remember. But, yeah, so you take that to Great Fish Isle. He's like, oh shit, I really, really want that. I'll give you something else. Well, it's a piece of art. I'm just not gonna lie. Yeah, you get a piece of art for that. And then if you take, I think the hero's flag to the guy at Bomb Island, he will give you an insane amount of rupees for something that costs $35 or to $75. So, yeah, that's a thing. Have this. I would love to. Yeah, you're gonna spend 200 rupees a few times actually on this. Yep, it's Zunda. That's what I figured. Okay, so now Zunda's shop has reached the pinnacle of what it can do. It is completely stocked on all items you can get. Well, not all items. There's a few that you can trade specific shit. Whoopsies. There's a few that you can trade specific stuff for to get different outcomes. It doesn't really matter. But before, because this is kind of more beneficial for me, before getting rid of this, because I do need to trade it for the piece of art, let's go back to Windfall for a few seconds so that I can show it to someone. Very obnoxiously. I can't even show it to them normally. It's so stupid. The way that this game handles some of the stuff that you can do is absolutely stupid. This is specifically one of them. I think that this is the most obnoxious way of doing things. But anyway, that archway has nothing but flowers in it. Now, there are two ways to do this. You can either do the postman statue, I think, or the Zunda statue. You gotta place either one of them in the dead center. Okay, so let's, bam. And now he spins, and you can talk to this guy. Okay, let's talk to him again. Yeah, I did. I did that. And so he gives you 50 rupees. So basically, what you can do is you can play the Song of Passing over and over again. Do mean over and over again. And get 50 rupees from him each time you place a statue down. Over and over. It's cool. It's probably the most efficient way of doing this. Yes. Just because I don't like leaving things where they are, here's the flower back. Okay, so, whoopsies. Put that back on. This back on because I kind of enjoy having the boomerang out. And now we can go back to Great Fish Isle and complete this quest. I believe that's probably all I can do on Windfall. I've done 90% of the things that I know that are there, so I'm probably gonna hug the rest of the map and finish that shit up later. This is probably one of the most tedious quests in the game, rivaled only by the tree thing that you have to do in Forest Haven with a 20-minute time limit. Which, ironically, I've done this in just about 20 minutes. It's like 19-30 seconds. Like, I'll barely finish this in 20 minutes. I'll finish the tree thing in like 10 to 15. I'm really good at it for the most part. Sometimes I fuck up. I'm not gonna lie. It does happen more often than not that I will accidentally fly off a platform by accident because some of them are kind of oddly placed, and I will have to take a few minutes to get back up to where I was. Okay, let's finish this shit up right here and now, though. It is. Well, he is now because I helped him. And we get another piece of heart, which is great because we only have 6 left before we're completely done. Is it 6? No, it's 10. Yeah, the rest of them are literally just pieces of heart. You don't get a heart container from anything else, which is really unfortunate. Anyway, let's see before I end this episode. Where am I going to go? So I'm going to go to... Where was I before? I was here, right? Or was I here? I was at the Three-Eyed Reef. I'm going to meet you guys at the Western Fairy Island next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. This is Bandit Ryu.